want to get line dry.
Want to lose weight?
My man, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Best quads in the game. Biggest misconception is people probably call you Dylan. Is that the right question to start with?
That's a perfect one, man. So it's on the telephone. You talked about the corporate culture that we came from, the IT space. So for me, it was really easy. It was always just like dialing for dollars.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you this, dude. A lot of people, for people that don't know you, I've watched your journey. Tell me a little, for people that don't know who you are, give me the 30,000 foot overview. Because I met you in corporate. I know you've got a bigger story. Yeah. You've done a lot of different things, dude, and we'll lead up to what you're doing now, but give people a little bit of history. Who are you, man? Besides a good looking guy with a beard, tell me the mystery.
So, man, Kolby, I am simply you. I am the you that is me, and I am everyone that is sitting here listening. At the end of the day, when you look at it, we choose to come into this world. We choose to come of this world into the avatar that we represent here today. And in that, we play many different roles. I play the role of father. I played the role of corporate citizen. I played the role of husband. And really, when you talk about mission and purpose, my goal, my vision, my mission here is to just get back to that oneness that we all come from. It's just to get back to that source, that universal consciousness, if you will. And so within that, I've played the role for 25 years of corporate citizen. Today, February 6th was my first day as full-time 100% entrepreneur. I've played the side hustle game for a few years where I spoke and I coached. And really, my entire corporate career was built out of fear. Listen, I was a guy that didn't look like everyone else, right? There was a time when tattoos, earrings, and a beard wasn't cool. And so I didn't look like everyone else. I didn't sound like everyone else. And so everything that I built from the success standpoint in corporate was built out of fear. And I've just gotten to a place in life where I recognize who I am. I recognize whose I am. And I just know that I can build something extraordinary out of love. Corporate yielded me, my top year was, I think, $315,000, right? My last 4 or 5 years in corporate, or even 10 years, it's been 200K plus. So it's been successful on paper. It's been successful in the reality that we all live, but there was still something missing. And for me, I really believe that each and every one of us is here to express something. We're here to express the way that we choose to experiment this experience that we're having. And for me, it was simply the success in corporate was one way of doing it. And again, that was based out of love. And I stepped into the world of entrepreneurship and I go, what can I build out of love? And that's what really drives me. And that's really what's brought me to where I am today.
Dude, that's a big move, right? It's because I think we were probably in the same tax bracket, like when I walked away, like 250 plus, running a team, an executive, successful. And then I walked away from that to build a software company, right? So it was like a tangible thing. There was a turning point for me that triggered that. What was the turning point for you as a corporate citizen who's making because a lot of people are like 6 figures, dude. Like you've made it in a job if you're making 6 figures, right? That's a big deal. So you're there plus a little bit of perks. And then you say, no, like there's something else. What was that turning point that moved you from corporate America to say, I think there's something more?
The turning point for me was the word trust. At 7:01 a.m. on the morning of January 13th, I literally just opened up my phone and I heard the word trust. And I knew that was the day that I needed to make a move. And so prior to that, Kolby, it wasn't a light switch. It took me years upon years to get to the place where I had this knowing and this trust in myself, in my voice, and who I am. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm a fucking lightning rod. You are attracted as fuck to dialing or you're turned off. There's not a whole lot in between. And so getting comfortable in that skin took a lot of years. Getting comfortable in that energy took a lot of years. And getting comfortable in that notion of I am going to be me and I'm going to shine as bright as I can, regardless of what anyone says, does, thinks, or feel. That took time, over days, over weeks, over months, over quarters, over years. And it just came to the pinnacle of that energetic transformation that just said, okay, now you know, now you trust. And it was one phone call that led to 4 or 5 other phone calls. You know what the exit process is like. And every director that I spoke to, every single one of them said, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it because I know this is what you are here to do.
Yeah.
And so had I not done the work to step into each phase of this journey and appreciate each phase of it, it would not have been as easy as it is. Because right now, no joke, I don't know if you remember this, but 2 years ago, you messaged me and you gave me 2 VIP tickets to come.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yep.
Right? And it's so funny. I reached out and I was like, okay, wait, who can I roll with? Because I don't have a big squad, right? And I reached out to Tyler Harris.
That's right. That's right.
Said, yeah, dude, I'll roll with you. And then like a week or 2 later, he said, hey, man, I'm good with the ticket because I'm actually speaking at the event. And so I started thinking, okay, who can I go to the event with? Because I want to invest the time in going and being there and getting all the goodness out of it. And then it just switched. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to this event, but it's not this year. And when I do go to the event, it's going to be me on stage. And I set that tiny little vision at that point. And I just watered it and watered it and watered it. About 2 years later, I'm sitting with you. And it was very much the same way in my exit from corporate, Kolby. It was watering it and watering it. And one of my favorites is Abraham Hicks, right?
Yeah.
Manifestation and the whole world of the vortex and all that. But she really talks about if you can't get from here to here, just get from here to here.
That's right.
Just took that slow build approach because you asked, I think it was Neva.
Yep, Neva.
You asked her what her genius is, what her superpower is. One of my superpowers is patience. Right?
I got to build that. I'm not born with that one.
Yeah, and man, it's taken me 47 years to do today. And when I look back at the cycles that I've gone through in life and through my own internal work, Kolby, I've recognized what my cycles are and I've recognized what my patterns are. And so now if I can pattern interrupt and if I can break those cycles and learn the lessons, then I elevate. Every time I go up, up, and up. And every time I level up, I have to fight the bigger, badder boss, right?
Yep.
If I defeat the bigger, badder boss, I get the new challenge. And if I can rise to the challenge throughout my corporate career, it sets the stage for me to step out and be on your stage. It sets the stage for me to step out and be out in the world of entrepreneurship and not have to worry about it. Because one thing I feel like most of us do as entrepreneurs is we build out of fear. Fuck you, I'm not good enough. You don't like what I'm doing, so I'm going to go out and do it myself, right? You're not giving me the opportunity, so I'm going to go make my own opportunities. And I go, man, I'm 47 years old, right? 47. And I'm 3 years away from the pinnacle of my earning career. So one of my favorites is Sean Whalen. Sean talks about freedom, and freedom is simply choice. So I left before the pinnacle of my game by choice. I left on top of my game by choice. That takes a lot of knowing. It takes a lot of self-acceptance. It takes a lot of self-acknowledgement. It takes a lot of self-love. And those were the things that I needed to work through, Kolby. Right?
47 years, dude. Took 47 years. To put some, I'm gonna put a fence around what you just said for people that maybe are tuning in and listening but aren't really hearing. The corporate structure is really interesting because as you get through a point, there's what Dylan was talking about is a strategic exit. It's not a quit. It's not like I got an idea and I'm going to go quit and do it. one of the things, dude, I don't think it's your take on this, is for a minute when I left and I thought it had to be this on, I don't like the word entrepreneur. Like, I think it's a buzzword that's a marketing shtick. We're problem solvers, right? There's, as I look at the transition of things for me, and I'm making this strategic exit, I make it through corporate America. I find that there's some opportunities for me to build something. I wasn't building me as a brand at that point. I was, but I wasn't, because I was building the healthy primate while I was in corporate America, because that was part of my journey. Was I sit at a desk all day. I'm an executive. I'm 100 pounds overweight. I know I don't feel good. I know working out and eating right's is like the solution. I'm going to do that, but then there's more to it, and I'm just going to take you on a journey. That turned into building a community. That turned into me starting to film content. That started me as a brand, right? When I left corporate America, it wasn't to go do me as the business. It was like, that was a side hustle that was doing well. It was like a 6-figure side hustle. It was the opportunity that my client said at the time was presenting that we just were not, as a company, interested in solving. And we didn't make anything. We resold stuff. And I said, well, what if I did this? What if I tried this? What if I built the software? What if I learned how to code? What if I watched YouTube videos and on my free time, I learned how to build this thing that would solve a problem? Could I do it? So it was a challenge. So when I left corporate America, it was to go build this. We raised capital. We had customers already. We proved the concept and had a beta that paid for development. So I didn't leave for me as the brand. I left for me to build this thing, right? But the strategic exit on leaving, like, there's two things. It was like, that was a process. Like, dude, I remember my VP, who was my mentor, crying, like in the office, crying, because like I was next in line. And it was an emotional, like, when I turned in my resignation, they were like, dude, you're at the top of your game and you're going to walk away from this. You're a shareholder. You're on a team. Your bonuses are sick. You're leaving. Like, you're an idiot. But like you said, like, we're not going to stop you. Right? We're not going to, because they know it's like, once, I think one of it is, they wish they'd have done it themselves. I mean, can't tell you how many people like 6 years later that are in corporate that are like, yo, dude, I've been following your journey. I wish I could do that. And so you can't do that. You just haven't you've chosen not to do it. So that's strategic exit. So what Dylan is mentioning is his journey through navigating and leaving, not quitting, strategically building a path for him to build his own thing, building it as he goes to where it's, because he's doing his own thing as he's still in his day job. And then he builds up enough momentum to say, I think financially I could get through the bills. So now let me start to do both, and then I'm going to exit. It's the strategic exit.
Yeah.
I say this in a circle, dude, and I'm sorry. The entrepreneur side of it is, there used to be kind of, it was all or nothing. It's like, yo, man, you got to be this entrepreneur, like, screw a day job, yo. And then it's like, what I realize is, there is a lot to be said when I look back in hindsight on stability, being in stability, but then also being able to count on things like being kind of what they are, being comfortable. There's a lot to be said about being comfortable, dude. There's a lot. And when you leave, there's no safety net. Like, there's literally no net. I changed my views on it to where, like, and not everybody's meant to go build something. We're not all the same. It's like, I don't think we're all here. I think some people are just here as a placeholder. Like, I don't think that they're here for, like, they're having their experience, but in my experience, like, they're a passing person in a car. It's like, I don't know that everybody's built the same way as we are. Like, I do think that we're a little bit different, and I don't recommend that people just go chase their passion. Like, I used to, but I don't anymore. What you just said to me is the pivot that's taken me 45 years to say and to understand. It's the self-love, the value, because you left corporate America and now you're speaking, and then you're coaching and you're doing some things in the self-help space, is you found your worth through that. How important was finding that self-worth in transitioning into something that was more than just a passion that you could build an income around?
Having that self-worth is so important, because, again, like I said, most of us as entrepreneurs come from a space of fear. And, there's those long nights of, oh man, should I be doing this? Right? Listen, I haven't booked any revenue in the last month. Like, should I go back to corporate? Should I go do this? Like, all of the things that we all go through. And for me, the reason that, listen, I could have jumped years ago. I could have jumped and grown my wings on the way down, but I chose to jump and soar. I don't fucking need wings, right? That is when you do that internal work and you recognize that I am loved, I am enough, I am worthy. I have built Listen, I started in the corporate space at an OTE of $32,000, right? I left at 250. I didn't look like anyone. I didn't sound like anyone. As a matter of fact, even when I left, I still stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Right? So having that trust in who you are is so key, because right now, as we're sitting in this pandemic, you were talking to Dom earlier, and one of the things you asked Dom was about, hey, Dom, you haven't commented on anything that's going on, right? Here's my take on that. It doesn't matter what is going on out here. It's the old African proverb, right? And I think what Dom was saying was simply this: if there's no enemy within, there's no enemy outside, or the enemy outside can do no harm. And so you have that sense of knowing, it just makes this thing so easy. Because here's the thing, COVID happened, right? I joke with Dom about this because Dom and I have talked about this for some time. And one of the things that we have set as a vision was we were going to share a stage. And I literally said to him this week, I was like, hey, man, I ain't mad at COVID at all, because I didn't have to level my game up to get on stage with you. COVID just set the stage to give me an opportunity to be on stage with you. And when you can have that outlook in life, Kolby, and not be married to the attachment of what it should look like, which is what I was able to do in getting in that space of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-knowing, then I just let it unfold. And now I simply just sit and enjoy the beauty of it. Here's the thing. Everyone that you've had on this stage today, I am the rookie. I am 100% the rookie here today, but I am fucking loving it, bro. Like, I'm enjoying that this stage was bigger than the last stage I had. The next stage I have will be bigger than this one. I told my wife, I said, listen, we're going to go out to Friday night Kolibas, and we're going to splurge for the $19 wicker basket of Chianti. And this time on this bill, we're going to enjoy it. We're not going to stress it. We're spending $100 on dinner. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly what you mean.
Self, right?
Yep.
Listen, the first time around in corporate, I was coming from behind, Kolby. I was terrified. I couldn't enjoy any of it. Right now, I am basking in the glory of sitting on stage with you and sharing this time and space, because I know what the end game is. And I could have never made that move and flipped the switch on February 6th had I not done the internal work and where I can not only see, but feel that end game. And this is just a manifestation of me being pulled forward to that vision.
Yeah, that's powerful, dude. That's powerful. It's, finding self-worth to give yourself permission is a big one. And like, I learned, I've said this a bunch, I'm 40, I'll be 45 this year. You're 47. It's like, it's taking me this long. It took me, honestly, it took me until my divorce was what the catalyst was. I wasn't going to leave. She wasn't going to leave, and we were miserable. And then something happens, and it's like, then you look back, you're like, all this chaos. And then in the middle of it, what I was able to do, and your wife gives you this space, right? And we talked about this with Dom. It's like, you can't have as much success as you were wired and brought here to have without the support system of a good other half. Right. So it's like, I'm in a space where like I used to be 100 miles an hour all the time, 70 hours a week, to now it's like, I feel like I want to sleep all day and drink a bottle of whiskey. And it's like, I don't know why. Right. What I realized was then in that moment was I was given, or that time frame, which was a long time it's not a long time in the perspective of time, but it's like, it was a long time for me. It's like, I don't know that I was able to take a nap without feeling guilty. And it's like, here I am, I spent 6 months like, yo, dude, like, I didn't even know that I needed to heal. Like, I didn't know that I had a self-worth problem. I had an ego. Like, I could do anything I want. Everything's great. Like, you'd ask Waylon and I, like, some of the conversations of like having to break down the truth is you just get so conditioned and routined to where you don't know how important forgiveness of shit that you don't even know you need to forgive yourself for, that you carry like a bag of rocks, that we always do the best with what we have at the moment in time. Right. And as long as you're on the side of trying to do more than you take, like give more than you take, I think that's always a karmic balance is good. I like to always have that scale heavier on giving than taking from things. We don't give ourselves the time to sit back and say, okay, like, I'm love, like, I'm worth more, I can do more. We just keep going. right? So the fact that, you know, you had that space, it's like, that was one of the biggest things for me. It's taken me 2 years. So I don't have like, it's taken me 2 years to do that, to get to a place where it's like, I'm okay with who I am. I needed to heal. These are things I needed to accept, but allowing myself the permission to kind of step into that next evolution. Like, I think we're like frequencies, right? We are always vibrating. It's like, how do I get to the next frequency? And you found that, right? You found that and have been able to translate that into an income. You know, there's a lot of people that talk, right? There's a lot of people in this kind of self-help space that I'm a fan of, but I'm not a fan of, right? It's I don't want to hear about the time you had a car accident when you were a teenager and like you're telling that same story. I want to hear about your high school sweetheart breakup. It's like, that shit was Tuesday for me. Like, come at me with some shit that's real, that's happening right now, right? Like, I don't want to hear about shit that happened to you 20 years ago. Like, let me relate to you right now. One of the things that immediately set you apart, like I saw you jump for like go from here to here, was the quality of content and video stuff you were doing on LinkedIn, not Facebook. Like, you'll repurpose it on Facebook, but I didn't see it on Facebook. I'd see it on LinkedIn. And like, where did all of a sudden it's like, yo, I'm gonna have a phone to, like, I need to invest in some gear, and like, well, like, I want the setup to be right, and I'm gonna be walking, and I'm gonna have this out of focus. Like, the production value of what you were doing on LinkedIn, immediately when I saw your stuff, it went from like, I'm doing a video to, oh, this dude's legit. Like, this is the real deal. Like, when did that happen? Like, what prompted that? Because it feels like it was like right away.
It was, man. It was maybe about a year ago, right? And we get so caught up in the conscious action of always doing and the hustle and the grind of things. And unfortunately, we're sold on this idea that our worth is measured by our output. And I disagree with that fundamentally. I really do. And
Yeah.
here's that's in the pudding. So that journey came up as a morning, I hate to use these words, but you know, the spiritual community loves this one. Oh, hey y'all, I got a download and I'm gonna offer you a new program at $9.99 now. This morning, right? But I literally really fucking got a download, right? And it was I need to be more out there. I was always confident in my voice and what it is I brought, but I wasn't confident in the way that I articulated it, meaning from a digital standpoint. And I remember one morning coming out of meditation, and it came to me, and I literally said, in setting the intention, I need a platform. If you give me a platform, I will give you the glory. And I quickly came back and said, oh shit, if I have a platform, I need a team. And there was this guy that I've been following on LinkedIn. His name is Q. His hashtag's just Q. He's phenomenal. He's one of the top LinkedIn creators here in Milwaukee. And I followed him. And much like you, we started a quick relationship online. And the dude actually stood me up 2 times. And on the 3rd time, we sat down. He literally just offered to build my brand. And I got the team. I got literally the deal of a lifetime. And for the next 6 months or so, every Friday, I literally showed up and filmed in their office. And he wanted to use me as a case study for their branding, their personal branding business. And so, again, it was simply me stating to the universe what it is I wanted. I had a vision that was very clear. We all talk about this stuff. Have a vision, have clarity, set intention, have awareness, and just work, rinse, and repeat. But I did it. I set the intention, I listened, I settled, I removed the resistance, and all of a sudden the team showed up. And then it just started working and clicking. And I got to tell you, Kolby, I think it was a thing that kind of reconnected us. It also led to me connecting with a couple of other people that, full transparency, I literally chased their stages as well. And then they came to me and said, hey, man, I want you on my stage.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's this, I found this unique balance between the inner work and the outer work. Because I do believe that without the work, faith without works is dead, right? But I don't believe that I've created such an attachment and a label and an egotistic latch to the work itself, right? And so now if I can balance the internal work and the external work, guess what that does to me? It gives me more time to go to the beach. It gives me more time to go work on these quads. It gives me more time to hang out with my wife. It gives me more time just to sit out in the backyard and have coffee. And I know that when I'm having fun, life gives me more fun to be happy.
That's right. That's right. So I got Elisa's like sitting eye shot on the other side of here, and like I'm on mute and I highlight you and you're talking, and she goes, "You didn't think that was going to be his answer, did you?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. I didn't think that was going to be the answer. Not at all. Didn't see that one coming." I was expecting you had good visual people. Like Tyler is like the king of that, right? When he went all in and had the company fund him to build his own brand that became their brand, people brilliant. Like TJ, it's like, so you've had people around that you know personally that have done like really high quality stuff. Dom, right? You know, Dom is, we didn't even talk about what a machine that dude is. He sends me this picture. I'll send it to you like when we get off. And it's like only we can appreciate it because he's like, it's a camera thing with the stand and lights and this thing. And it's like this, like, what is that, dude? What are you making a motion picture? Like, what are you doing? I make films and I don't even have that. I'm using a Canon 70D. I got a few mics and some lighting, dude. Like I can make magic in editing. Like, what is this thing you've got? And it's, I expected the answer to be something along those lines. Like you'd seen people that have done quality. But what I hear loud and clear, which seems to be the message, which is, I love it because there's not a theme this year. I very rarely do a theme, kind of set up something, but the theme right now is opportunity. So we find ourselves, and as I've stated a few times, there's kind of three sets of people. There's people that are living in fear. There are people that are kind of in and out. They don't know what to do. I'm going to kind of adapt only because I have to. And then there's the group that's like, where are the opportunities? Where can I serve? How can I help? What can I do? And that seems to be the theme. It's like the universal structure of the people that we're talking to today is the opportunities. Like I'm seeing opportunities. I see opportunities to where people that are listening, like I hope you heard that, is found a guy in his area that does video production, started a conversation in a relationship. His expertise and his delivery and his Dylon's a brand. He's like me. It's like we have a look and a feel, and it's like you kind of know what you're getting. He knows what he's doing. He's in his lane. All he needed was somebody to hit record. He didn't have the gear. Found somebody in his area that had that and said, "Hey man, listen, I got some content. We'll figure it out." That person said, "Hey man, I'm going to make you a case study." And that now becomes the content that completely separated you from your contemporaries, dude. Like there's the executives that work for Fortune 5s on their stupid phones and their ring lights don't have it. Their kids can't teach them how to do it right. And here you are, and dude, your videos aren't getting like 100 plays. You're getting thousands of views on LinkedIn, which Facebook is like, you get 1,000 views on LinkedIn, on Facebook. LinkedIn, to be getting thousands of people that are in corporate. Like, you know, we could laugh that, and you and I've talked about this, the time you left corporate America was like right before COVID hit, right? It's like, it's happening at the same freaking time. It's like, this is not the time to go, you know, work for myself and like walk away from the financial security. So you leave during that time, but now all of a sudden everybody's home and everybody's looking for content and they're on their LinkedIn updating their profiles. They're updating their resumes. They're like, where am I going to work next? And there you are. Like with content that as soon as you see it, you're scrolling through. I mean, you stop because it's different. It's clean. It's crisp. You look sharp. Like you just did such a super, such a super like a great you did so good on building that piece. The Elisa wrote this down. He anchored himself, and the universe came to him. And I hear that message from you loud and clear. It's like you had intention. You set the intention out. You've done the work. It's the alignment. It's putting yourself in the available space for the universe to be received.
That's it, man. It's knowing what your intention is, having that vision, and not being married to an outcome or not being married to how it should look. And here's the reality of things, right? February 6th was my first day as full-time entrepreneur. And I think no more than 6 weeks later, the world's in shutdown mode. But here's the beauty of it. You can look at it one of two ways. A, COVID pulled the rug out from under me, or B, COVID set the table for me. Because here's the reality of things.
Beautiful.
Right now, if you weren't able to show someone how to 10x their business, or you couldn't show someone how to quadruple their income, or whatever, you were not getting much time on stage. And right now, what the stages want more than anything, people that can provide hope, inspiration, motivation, right? Momentum, love, empathy, transparency, all of the things that are now the new hashtags, guess what? COVID has set the stage for me because that's who I am. That's what I've always been about. If you don't know, just go scroll back a couple of years.
Yep.
It's the message I've been preaching over and over. It just so happened that I removed the resistance that allowed me to be pulled to my vision. And now, I don't remember if it was Dan that said it this morning, maybe, but they referred to a Les Brown quote, right? All I have to do is know what the what is and not worry about the hows. The hows are none of my business.
Yeah.
So this is one of the hows, but this isn't my business. How this happens. Listen, I'm still on the stage at Meltdown. We're just not in Arizona right now.
Right.
Checkbox, right? There are other stages that I want. It doesn't matter how they come as long as they come. And that goes with anything in life. If we just let go of the attachment of how it should look, I used to want to just hold on and enjoy the ride. Now I simply surrender and enjoy the flow. And it leads to magic, just like this, folks.
Dude, on that note, we're going to stop while we're ahead. I honor you, dude. I respect who you are. I love how you show up. It's I look forward to the day where we can actually like sit down and give you a big hug and be in the physical presence. Thanks again, man, for spending time with us. It means a lot for you to take some time out of the day. I know we had to bounce the schedule around a bit, so thank you.
No, thank you, brother. The honor was all mine. I'm filled with gratitude. I'm humbled, and I feel like a very blessed man to be a part of this today. Again, like I said, 2 years ago, man, I set the intention, and I thank you for allowing that to be full manifestation today, brother.
Well, of course, dude. Of course. If people want to know more about what you're doing or they want to find you, where can they go?
DylanAli.net. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. Dylan Ali. Facebook and Instagram. Dylan D-A-L-E. I've got a great group, the Society of Love Community, and then I've got another group called the Tribe of Love on Facebook. So you can find me, you can connect with me, you can engage with me. Let's just share more love and more love, brother.
I love it. It's D-Y-L-A-N-A-L-I. Don't call him Dylan. Don't call him late for dinner. And definitely do not call him to spot you in the squat rack because the dude's got quads for days.
Don't call it comeback. Been here for years.
Been here for years, baby. All right, my man. I'm going to close it up, dude. I appreciate it. I honor and respect you. Until the next time, I'll talk to you sometime next week. Be safe. Kiss the wife and the family. And again, thank your production guy in the background for kind of managing through that. I'll talk to you soon, dude.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Thanks, Mom.